Ananda Swarupa, He Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord, who I am. Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am. I am Om, eternal Om, I am Om. Sometimes I remember who I am and I seem to do good, but other times I forget and I don't seem to be so good. I am Om, eternal Om, through this life of distraction and of illusion, remind me, my Lord, who I am. I had not seen him physically, but I had read that Swami said he has the love of 1,000 mothers. So I was praying to Swami, Swami, I'm here alone and I'm not feeling good. And they said that you have a love of 1,000 mothers, but I can't claim to have experienced that. But I know what my mother's love means. I've experienced that. And can you be with me like how she is?
He is a man who lives from his intellect, but mostly he lives from his heart. Srinivas Raghavan is a composer, a musician, a singer, but mostly he is a man who lives his life unerringly, as holy man Sri Satya Sai Baba would direct him to. As you'll see and hear, Remind Me, My Lord, Who I Am is but one of his wonderful musical compositions. Welcome to Souljourns. This interview was recorded in San Diego, California in April 2004.
It's really nice for you to allow us to come into your home like this. Thank you very much for this opportunity to talk to you about Satya Sai Baba.
Thank you.
Let's just begin by telling us, if you will, use all the words you want, how you first became interested in following Sri Satya Sai Baba.
Sairam. Actually, my parents were devotees of Sai Baba before I was born. And my sister loved music and she would sing bhajans. So between the two of them, that's how I was introduced from childhood to Sai Baba. And I used to learn bhajans from my sister and attend bhajans with the family.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Bombay, in India, and then later in Madras. I did my schooling in North India, and after that I studied here at Ohio State.
Well, that's quite a transition.
Yeah.
Before you come to your Ohio State years, do you remember how old you might have been when you first laid eyes on Sai Baba, on his form?
Actually, on his form, the first time was in 1995.
So not so long ago.
Yes, not so long ago.
Can you remember how you felt when you saw him for the first time?
Yes, actually that was an interesting trip because I was praying to Sai Baba for a long time, maybe 1 year before that I should be able to visit him, because from childhood I knew of Swami, but I'd never got a chance to go and see him. My parents and my sister did while we were in Bombay and Madras. They got to see him when he visited them, when he visited the city, and so for about a year I was praying that I should get the chance, and so finally we planned to go and when we went by the train up to a point, and then we took a bus from there. And when we reached Puttaparthi and got down from the bus, I was so excited I jumped and kissed the ground.
Did you really?
Yes. I was so happy. It was the first time I saw a place that Swami has walked on, and I was very, very happy. For some time before that, I just had the inspiration to sing, and some songs came to me which I dutifully wrote down and sent him a cassette with some songs on it before I first went to see him, and it was a very, very thrilling experience. The first, should I speak about?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, the first day we reached Puttaparthi, and it was funny because I'm used to. I have to say this a little bit because I'm used to sitting in the front at bhajans. I always love to go and sit in the front. I never like to sit behind.
And the reason for that is
Because I get distracted, and I know that I'm distractible. So by sitting in the front, I'm close to Swami, and I don't get distracted by other people. It's nothing.
Okay.
I want to be close to
Yeah.
Swami, not to other people. So I'm used to that, and I didn't know much about the protocol in Puttavarthi. So when we first went there, we saw the line for the Nagar Sankirtan, the village service, and so I went and stood in the front because I'm just used to that, and there was lots of space in the front, and I thought, well, like everybody else, everywhere else, people don't like to stand in the front, they always stand at the back, so let me go and populate the front. But I didn't know that there's a protocol, and some people are, they get to stand in the front,
Right.
and the rest of the crowd gets to go in the back. So when I went there and I stood, then somebody asked me, "Are you a staff member?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Go back." So I went 2 rows back, and then they said, "Are you a student?" And I said, "No." So they said, "Go back." And I kept going back because everybody would ask me some other question. So finally I ended up at the end of the very end of the line. When we finished the Nagar Sankirtan, we came for the darshan, but the darshan lines are already over by then.
Yeah.
I mean, I was new, I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So I just went into the hall, and we got seated, and we saw Swami in the morning darshan. Then in the afternoon they said you have to go and stand in the line, and then they'll let you in by token lines. So when we went there, as soon as we got in the line, they called our line as the first line. So I mean, obviously there was some significance to that, but I didn't really know what the significance was. So I just went along and went in, and they seated us on the first row. And I knew, because I was preparing for the trip, so I knew that when I'm there, I shouldn't be distracted by other things and focus only on Swami. So that was very clear. So I started saying all the prayers and things that I knew. And pretty soon I exhausted them, because they seat you at least a couple of hours before Swami comes in. So it was probably like 2 or 3 hours that we were sitting. But people around me were talking, but I was not interested in talking. I just wanted to focus on Swami. And even so I kept doing that, and then finally Swami came for darshan, and even then I didn't want to be restless and kind of be agitated and jump around and turn around, and so I just kept quiet. I said, I felt in my heart that Swami will come, and when he comes, then I can have his darshan. So he did come around, and he was kind of diagonally across from where I was sitting, and then he turned around and he came directly towards me, and he came and blessed me on the head.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, you must have been very excited.
It was very exciting. I still remember the touch, and I felt it very much. So he was standing for quite some time, so I took a namaskar, namaskar on that day. And then he stood next to me for some time, and Vijaya's father was there, so he was standing there. So I said, I can take another chance, and
You did
took a second one.
And what did he have? What did he allow you to do?
Yeah, he didn't say anything.
You said that you sent a cassette of tapes of your music to him.
Mhm.
Did you ever have any idea whether or not it was received, if he had a chance?
Right. Well, since he gave me the songs, I figured that he already knows about it, so it was not so much of a concern for me whether he receives it or not, because obviously he is the one who did it, so he should know.
He wrote it through you,
Yes,
after all.
right. So I didn't feel that at all. I didn't know any other way. I mean, I wasn't in that kind of a league to be able to go and hand it to him personally. And I mean, so as far as I knew, it should go. And
I'm going to ask you now and at the end of this to sing a song, play a song on your guitar you have. But before I do, the first one, tell me something about what I believe is true, but I'm not sure if I'm using the right words. Can music be a way to finding God?
absolutely, yeah, because that's actually my life. I love music, and I love to sing to Swami, and I find it very easy to be able to communicate with him in a music way, because through music you reach out and break barriers which otherwise exist. You can you forget yourself, and it's a language that anybody can use. It's not restricted, and it's not the music but the communication that's important.
Is it correct to liken music to prayer?
Yes, in the sense that they are two different tools to the same purpose. I mean, for me, personally, it's being able to communicate with Swami, and in my heart.
And how does Swami communicate with you in the midst of this communication called song?
Because the music, the lyrics, I'm not a trained musician. I didn't train to play any instrument. I'm not trained to sing, actually, and I'm definitely not trained to write music. So obviously there's something going on, and I'm an Indian boy singing Western songs. So something is, there's something more than just meets the eye. So.
Well, I've heard you sing and I've heard you play, and it proves one thing: training ain't necessary.
Yeah.
Would you pick up your guitar and tell us what you're going to sing and whether or not it's your own composition?
Yeah, okay. Oh, just before that, in my guitar there's a little Shirdi Baba. If you wanna.
Let me zoom in here for a second.
Yeah.
What's Shirdi Sai Baba doing inside your guitar?
That's a good question, because I work with children a lot, and
He's upside down.
he's upside down. That's a good question too.
Aim it this way a little bit more. Just point oriented.
Oh yes.
Okay, there he is. So what's he doing in your guitar? And what's he doing upside down?
That is why I have it there to initiate that question, because I work with children a lot, and they're very curious and inquisitive, and they ask me why is that. They look, when they're seated, they look about that height, and they want to know how did he get in there, first of all, and why is he there. And then I have to tell them that I have two guitars. Both of them are gifts from my sister, and on one there's Shirdi Baba, and the other one is Sathya Sai Baba. And I tell them it reminds me who's the musician and who's playing
And who's the instrument?
and who's the instrument. That's right. And also it's upside down so that I can be reminded.
What are you going to sing for us?
Okay, this is one of the first songs that came to me, and it has a lot of meaning personally to me, because this song was before I went to see him in physical form, and it's called Sai, You Are My Heart and Soul. Sai, you are my heart and soul. Sai, you are my heart and soul. You are my path and my goal. You make my life whole and complete. You give your love to me. Sai, you make my life whole and complete. You give your love to me. Sai, you are my heart and soul. Born in this world in the name of Sai, hold on to him if you can. He is born in this world in the name of Sai, hold on to him if you can. He is in one, he is in all, you can see him in everything. Yes, he is in one, he is in all, you can see him in everything. Sai, you are my heart and soul.
Oh, I want to hear more. I want to hear more. That's great. I was going to only have you sing too, but the mood is so beautiful, and you wrote that, and he wrote it through you. Why don't you just sing another song, and then we'll get to some more questions.
This is can I tell a little bit about the song? Okay. This last time when I went to see Swami, there was